Our next speaker, Eva Rose Daniel, Spaghetti and Waffles. Spaghetti and Waffles, Eva Rose Daniel.
I've been married for a little over 2 years, and during that time I have learned a lot about myself, about my husband, and about the unique dynamic that men and women have when it comes to communication. So today, I want to share with you some of the lessons I've learned in the hopes that tonight when you go back to that special someone, you will better be able to understand how they think and how they communicate. When it comes to personalities, my husband and I are opposite on the spectrum. My husband is an introvert. He's calm, laid back, easygoing. I'm an extrovert, enthusiastic, energetic, outgoing, and I love people. And I get 4 adjectives because I just have that much personality. So as you can imagine, when it comes to communicating, my husband and I have vastly different styles. An example of this would be when I would get home from work early into marriage, I would burst through the door, eager to tell my husband all about all the little details that had happened all throughout my exciting day at work. I mean, granted, I had texted him incessantly throughout the day, maybe called him once or twice or 4 times, just with the most important details, of course. But I mean, I had things to say when I got home. So I would burst through the door without missing a beat. I would start following my husband around the house, even into the bathroom. And conversation would go something like this. So Jacob, today I saw on Facebook that Julie got engaged to that guy named Kevin, which is totally crazy because she used to be engaged to that guy named Ryan. He was over the class high. I don't know if you remember that story. Anyway, she's engaged to this guy named Kevin now. He's the pilot for Southwest Airlines. Did I tell you about the time that I flew on that plane? I sat next to the guy that was really into deep sea fishing. Oh, before I forget, we're invited to dinner at the Grand Sub the 17th, and I told him not to make seafood because you don't like seafood. We're going to leave at 5:30. Anyway, back to Julie and Kevin's wedding. I think they're probably going to do one of those at the East Coast. I don't know to go because I really like the East Coast. It is so gorgeous. So I think that maybe we should consider it. Oh, I keep forgetting to call my mother. You've got to remind me to call my mother. I keep forgetting all about that. So anyway, how was your day? My husband's response? Fine. 2 weeks later, I get home from work. I am ready to go to dinner at the Grants. Walk through the door. My husband's sitting there, reading. Jacob, what are you wearing? We need to go in 5 minutes. Go where? Dinner at the Grants. And he would remember nothing about the conversation. Nothing. We just talked about this 2 weeks ago when I got home from work. It's as if my husband listens to nothing that I say. Why doesn't he listen to me? Why doesn't he listen to me? Now, I used to get really, really frustrated by this until someone gave me a copy of a book by Bill and Pam Farrell called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. In the book, the author suggests that men's brains are structured relatively to that of a waffle. Vision a waffle set up on a grid with lots of little boxes. Men, when they think about something, they are in one box at one time. They can only think of one thing at one time. So for example, if a man is watching the Chiefs-Chargers game, he's thinking about the Chiefs-Chargers game. If a man is tinkering in the garage, he is thinking about tinkering in the garage. If a man is reading a book, he's thinking about the book he's reading. And ladies, most shocking of all, men have a nothing box. This is a box in which they are thinking about absolutely nothing. As women, we cannot comprehend this, so we have to just accept it and move on. Now, women, meanwhile, they suggest their brains are like a plate of cooked spaghetti. Envision a pile of cooked spaghetti. If you try to pull out one strand, one train of thought, one subject, it affects and touches everything else. Women cannot just be thinking about one thing at one time. We're always thinking about numerous things at the same time. This makes it very, very challenging for men because they never really know what we're thinking about or talking about ever. So, as I began thinking about this concept, this waffles and spaghetti concept, it began to revolutionize the way I began communicating with my husband. I realized that for my husband to be able to hear what I was saying, he needs to be in the same box with me at the same time. So, conversation needs to go something a little bit more like this. Get home from work. Pause. Allow husband time to recognize that I am home. Next, get husband in same box with me at same time by saying something like this. Jacob, I would like to talk with you about our schedule this month. Once I believe he's entered the box with me, be direct, to the point, cut all extraneous details. We've been invited to dinner at the Grants on the 17th. We need to leave at 5:30. You need to wear a button-down shirt. Leave conversation. Don't bring in needing to talk to my mother or Julie's engagement or anything else. Leave it at that one subject. And amazingly, since I started using this technique, my husband remembers what I said. I come home, he's dressed, he's ready to go. Now this started on small things, dinner with the Grants. But I realized that maybe I could employ this idea on bigger things, such as our anniversary. My first year of marriage, I hit it in a long tirade about all the things, all the gifts that I would like. Last year, I was direct, I was to the point. Jacob, our anniversary's coming up. I would like you to buy me a gift. I would like high thread count, at least 600 thread count, red Egyptian cotton sheets. Leave conversation. I know the sheets. So in conclusion, tonight, when you go back to that special someone, ladies, remember that your husband's brain is like that of a waffle. He can only think of one thing at one time, so try to stay on track. And men, there's not a lot I can say for you. Except that in the long, everything happening all at once, just try to pick out the thing that you think might be the most important. So who knows? Maybe you could actually be right. Thank you.